Christian sent me the link to this video which this person's playing, and it is from the channel Unveiled. I quite like Unveiled. Over the past he's made some brilliant videos and I've copied little bits of it, so I really hope he doesn't mind if we use I don't know if it's all the video, but some of his video. In this video we did this last year sometime. We did this ourselves.
Hello Karen, hello Gary, hello everybody.
Alright Christian, yeah, hello mate, alright.
So we started off our talk about this premature baby because I've got this video. I don't know if I can put it out. We're going to see because the music, I don't know, it might be on Unscrambled because the music might be copyrighted. But what it is that Christian was telling me about this, and then I found the video you obviously watched where they're going to amusement arcades, and in there when you get there there's all these premature babies, which just seems just
well
weird
I
to
mean
me.
Christian, I only watched it this morning. It was quite distressing for me, and basically you know, it was saying that they was taking them off of sort of like unmarried mothers because of the shame of it. Now I know this did go on a little...
Yeah, all the responsibility was put on the woman.
I mean, my mum told me like that it was quite shameful back in the war and whatever if you was an unmarried mother, but this seems to be that the numbers seem to don't compute here. It's like I think it could be some kind of ruse, and maybe they had their own form of IVF.
What they were doing was, because we watched the video,
yeah.
He shows you pictures where there's no people around in any of the towns.
There's no people anywhere.
And then they bring the incubator babies or the infants, and then that's
yeah.
it. Those places are now, got populated.
So what is your opinion on that with the huge numbers of babies, like, and they're all premature and whatever? You got any ideas on that, Christian?
Well, I was always under the belief, around about a time frame of the late part of the 18th century, that people were being press ganged onto boats to repopulate the earth, or repopulate certain areas of the earth. But then when you watch this and you see all these empty cities beforehand, and a short while later there's people there, and you see, like, right across America, like 80,000 incubator places. Well, I mean, obviously in various parts and various cities, but you think, where did this spring from? Who produced it? And you just think, well,
do you know, is it real though,
can
I say, Christian? You don't think it's another sort of like poo-poo thing they put in? Because, you know, like when we were looking through the video, there's a few things that guy didn't say. He didn't say anything about the Spanish-Mexican wars, which were going on at the gold rush time, and that is history which should be included. And there was a few things that he didn't really. No, it was a brilliant video, but he excluded. Like, we were looking at the pictures, and I said, Gary, those pictures don't look real.
Well, another thing as well, Christian. You know, we've got to take a discerning view now on everything, because we know everything's a lie. But I'm wondering to myself, what's the reality in them pictures? They could easily sort of like Photoshop them to sort of like remove all the people, you know, to sort of like show that the streets are empty. But
I mean, those videos look like they were the 1950s.
So do you think the people that you see later on was the orphan children grown up, Christian?
Yes.
Or what? Yes, that's what it is, isn't it?
If you listen to what they say,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's it.
That was basically what they're saying, weren't they? They were saying like that there wasn't no people, and then all of a sudden you see people again. So all the adults have disappeared. So it was all the orphans, like grown up to sort of like teenagers or in their 20s or 30s, yeah.
Well, this is one of the main questions that I keep coming across myself. I mean, many other researchers have gone the same direction. They see all these empty cities.
Well, do you know what I thought, Christian, before you carry on yours? Like, when you see all the empty towns, I said, what did they do? Did they say that a big catastrophe was happening and they got everybody on ships and took them away, or whatever? Or are they, like Gary wondered, whether they were in quarantine? You know, they...
Yes, I actually thought to myself, well, it's very similar to what we were going through with lockdown like a little while ago. Were these people, did they have a similar situation in the 18th century, Christian, where the people were into a forced lockdown, like we're going for this particular moment in time. Well, not this particular moment in time, but we have been, and it looks like we're going to go again before too long, maybe. So, what do you think? Is that a possibility?
Well, there's huge similarity with what's going on today to what went on in the early part of the 1900s. But then, when you go back another century, you know, you've got very similar similarities that we have what's going on today. But yeah, it's almost like the population just vamooshed out of thin air, you know, and you think...
So, Joe, it's like, though, I have a feeling that Alaska and Russia look at extra land and that we come from this extra land. But when they're trying to say, oh, God, this world, it's falling to pieces, we need to get out of here, people are going to be happy that they're going to be taken away. And if they said...
Search on Old World Photoshop, we began to notice a trend with old postcards from the 1900s showing early examples of compositing. There isn't much information on these. If there's a catalog, it's not easy to come by. But many of these are early examples of photo manipulation. They had surreal, real photo postcards, in which they would attempt to trick people with the illusion of photography. As we continued to look through these old postcards, a very strange and unsettling trend started to become apparent. It began with just simple baby postcards. At first thought, it seems like any ordinary postcard. But as with the Same Sky postcard mystery, where the author began to see a trend of a variety of postcards, well, there's a category of postcards that deserves its own name and label, but it doesn't seem very well known, as there are no websites or videos explaining this topic. We shall call it the mystery of the repopulation postcards. There are other names for this style, such as baby postcards. By the end of this video, you'll be shocked at how many of these there are. We're talking in the thousands. We found one reference to what these cards were in a book on Amazon named Babylon, Surreal Babies, in which the author describes these same peculiar 1900s postcards and how they were deeply influential to many famous artists, including Salvador Dali, yet the author even admits that little is known of their history. In order to understand why we've labeled them repopulation postcards, a thorough understanding of resets, Tartaria, orphan trains, incubators, asylums, and Oddfellows will be necessary. These cards depict babies being grown. There are many different styles within this category. One of the most interesting is the Cabbage Patch Babies, a variety of themes involving growing babies. Babies on plants, babies on mushrooms, babies in the water, babies in a nest, babies in eggs being hatched. Then the babies arrive on the train. There's something eerie about these photos, as if someone's trying to tell us something.
I myself went on the internet just to have a look. I'd never really looked up postcards with babies on, and I found a range of them myself. So why all the babies like this? It just looks what it is, doesn't it? Hey, you get a postcard from us, you got a baby from a cabbage coming. It is a bit strange. I mean, they're saying, ha, hilarious, babies for sale and all that. So it's a bit like a joke. And you can see maybe they did some for Christmas presents, like, oh, the baby's come or something like that. Maybe it was a way of telling people that they'd had babies. But so many pictures of babies. It is a bit strange, I have to say. And just back to incubators. But what's your thoughts then into this video? What's your thoughts?